She was fine though. She didn't actually hurt anything.
My preemie baby went through withdrawal. Her name is Isabella. I'm in the methadone program, and she's born addicted to the methadone. It was hard to watch her shake and tremor. She receives morphine to help with her withdrawal a few times a day. The third day was the hardest. Yesterday would have been day 4, and it was better, but today's probably the best day. It's day 5. It's disgusting. It's not a way of life. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. And I used, up until I found out I was pregnant with her, and I was 22 weeks along.
The situation really is getting a lot worse than what we had seen even a few years ago.
The opioid crisis is huge. We have seen statewide a pretty significant increase in the number of babies affected by neonatal abstinence syndrome. We saw about 1,900 babies affected by NAS in the year 2017, so it's a pretty big increase. Babies experience extreme irritability, they cry a lot, they're very difficult to console, they have a lot of tremors.
A baby could actually die. That's the absolute worst case scenario. Probably next would be full-blown seizures from withdrawal from opioids. It's disheartening. You don't like to see these babies in the NICU, because to actually see them going through withdrawal is sometimes hard to watch.
The treatment is, first line is comforting measures. So low lighting, quiet room, little stimulation as possible. Skin-to-skin care is excellent, breastfeeding is excellent, and then if those measures don't work, then moving on to medication replacement. So to treat opioid withdrawal, you want to treat with an opioid. So most commonly here we use morphine.
She was fine though. She didn't actually hurt anything.
There's plenty of evidence out there that it's difficult for these moms to share this information for fear of being judged.
I was ashamed because I was using while pregnant. I was scared. I didn't want people to know, because I don't want someone to take my child from me because of a choice I made, and now I'm an addict.
We're talking about how addiction is a disease, so we know that it's not good to stop using opioids cold turkey, both for mom and baby. So baby can go through the same withdrawal symptoms in utero with no ability for us to monitor. You know, mom should go to her provider and they will help her convert to a methadone replacement program or a buprenorphine replacement, and we know the benefits are great. So having a mom who is receiving routine prenatal care, a mom who is not foregoing food because of cravings for drugs, a mom who is not abusing with IV opioids and putting herself at risk for virus transmissions, things like HIV and hepatitis C. Our average length of stay for babies experiencing NAS is about 3 weeks, so it can be much longer, it can be shorter. It depends on how high a dose the babies need to get under control and then how quickly they wean.
I was expecting to stay at the most for a couple weeks, like maybe 4 weeks at the most, and it ended up being the day I had her, May 9th, up until July 5th, so it was a extremely long stay. They said she wasn't handling coming off the medication as well as they anticipated. Things have been going really well. I think she's happy to be home. I formed a really good friendship. Our babies are born 2 days apart.
My son is Harlan Metcalf. I was pregnant with him, and I was using from the time I was pregnant until I was about 5 months pregnant. When he was born born addicted. I was in an abusive relationship for 12 years, and he was also an addict. I have 3 children with him. When I left him, I was like, I wanted to know was so important about this drug, like how it made him feel to do all the things that he had done. And I used for the first time and I loved it, and I couldn't stop after that. It made me feel alive, actually. I actually got pregnant with my son that I have now, and I went to Sheets to use in the bathroom, and I came out and I overdosed while I was pregnant, and the cops were called, and I got arrested and put in jail for a probation violation for using. And that's when I was like, I could have killed myself, my baby, everything. And I got sent to the Lord's house, and it's pretty much changed my life. He is held 24/7. He's wonderful. He loves life. Every day, like, I regret everything and I feel guilty about everything, but I just pray every day that he's gonna be okay.
This is a complicated topic for sure, just to say, how can we predict how these babies are going to develop? But there has been some research out there. These babies are at risk. Now, why are they at risk? We're not 100% sure. Is it because mom used, methadone throughout her entire pregnancy, or is it because she was using heroin during that first trimester and using a lot of heroin and that caused damage to the brain? Is it because the babies were giving morphine after birth? Is it due to the fact that maybe it's not the most stable home environment? But we do know that these children are definitely at risk.
If you're born with neonatal abstinence syndrome, you're going to have a little harder road. Your brain's already been primed some. You just didn't get a good start. But with good attention, with people knowing that there are these extra risks, there's always a way to help a child reach their full potential. One of the things to me about prevention is that we actually need to work with parents, even parents who are in recovery, even parents that are using. Parents are the most powerful prevention that we can have to keep kids from using. And when we study and we look, the number one person kids want to hear from about drugs are their parents.
I'm afraid that since I was using with her, it's going to be in her blood. I'm afraid she's going to be more prone to becoming an addict. But I'm going to be brutally honest. I'm not going to lie to my kids. If they ask, Mommy, did you do drugs? I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to explain to them that doing drugs took everything. I just hope and pray, and by being honest, I hope that they see, it's not worth it. I hope that through my experiences, I can raise them to have a better life, be able to tell them, about my experiences so that they know not to walk in my footsteps.